this new Gauntlet mode. Kieran he made a post yesterday that they were internally beta, or not beta tested, but internally having like a play test for Gauntlet. As most of you might know, like I am part time with Illuvium now, so I didn't go in. I wasn't watching it, but I saw there was about 30 people internally early this morning for me, just all in there. A bunch of them were streaming and playing. So it's to the point where it's playable. I'm sure there's tweaks that need to be made, balancing, maybe there's some bugs. I don't know about all that, but they're playing it already. And that was something that, and we only started hearing about Gauntlet mode, maybe a month ago? But my question to you is that it seems like Gauntlet mode is getting a ton of attention right now. If Gauntlet mode becomes like the competitive game for Illuvium, and it kind of like takes that shine away from the arena, is that like a net positive or negative for Illuvium?
It depends on how expensive decks are. If we're trying to make like decks more expensive and Alluvio is more expensive, then this is 100% a net positive. And I think it's a net positive regardless, because I think this game mode is going to be the game mode that makes people say, hey, crypto games are not a scam. I don't have to spend $500 to play this game. It's completely free. Why would you even complain about that? You know what I mean? It's a completely free game. You don't have to pay anything for, and you get everything you need. Now, here's the thing. Will alluvials have value? Maybe not as much as they would if you had to actually own it. But the thing about the alluvials in the Gauntlet is if you own the alluvial, you actually get a skin to go with it if you're playing it and using it in the Gauntlet. And I think that's going to be huge. And I think there's a reality where Gauntlet actually makes alluvial prices higher than they could have been because of that ease of access into the game, where you probably won't even have to own a crypto wallet to get in there. I mean, I guess with IMX Passport, it doesn't make it that hard to begin with, but you could play Gauntlet without knowing anything about crypto. You can play it without even realizing there's crypto in Illuvium. You don't even have to touch it unless you want those skins. And the skins, like say it's a tier 0, these things are pretty much worthless. You're saying I can get a skin for 10 cents. I don't have to spend $500 on a League of Legends skin. I don't have to spend $20 on a CSGO skin, or even $1 million on a CSGO skin. I mean, it's going to be absolutely incredible to get in here and buy these skins up, and it's going to be such a good it's going to be such a good thing for crypto gaming, having a 20 cent 10 cent skin in Gauntlet. I really think this is one of the best ideas Illuvium has ever come up with. I cannot wait to play this game mode. I honestly think it's going to be so much fun. I'm more excited for Gauntlet than anything. It's going to be such a good time. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, everyone I talk to about it is super excited, but like I've mentioned this before, I've never played TFT, so I don't really know. But yeah, if it's an easier game to play basically, and it brings more people in, like if you get 5x the people playing Gauntlet that would have Arena, and say 50% of those people want some sort of skin, then yeah, I could see it raising or increasing the value of these alluvials. But
I
my
think
other
that's an
question about
understatement. I think the room for the player base for Gauntlet is the potential and ceiling is so high that we could see not just a 5x. I could see legitimately like a 20 or 30x in the player base. That's
yeah,
why people are so pumped about it.
yeah, because TFT is, I don't know how many players, but they've got a shit ton of
33
players.
million active monthly players.
Yeah, and if this is what it seems like, I don't necessarily want to call it a clone, but it seems like it's pretty much TFT with alluvials on the blockchain. So if TFT can be a hit, then why wouldn't this be a hit? You bring have some competitive like competition, a big prize pool that Kieran's always talking about. Bring
Mhm.
the people over from TFT to this game, and then it could be huge. But that is one more question I wanted to ask you about this, the competitive side, because in the arena you can easily have like a 1v1 in for esports, that's great, but then in this mode you're going to have basically 8 people all competing at once. How does that, I know TFT does pretty well for esports, but do you think that's I don't know, just give me your thoughts on that, like when it comes to esports, is arena better than you think this gauntlet mode could be?
So Teamfight Tactics actually, for the size of game it doesn't really have a good esports scene, and the reason because like you were saying, like with Gauntlet and having 8 people instead of just a one-on-one, it is going to make it less esports friendly, I think. maybe there's something that they can pull out of their butts and come up with something to make it more interesting for the viewer. But I could definitely see it just as like a game that people actually want to play. I think that's the biggest thing. And then the esports for like maybe Leviathan or Ascendant, that can be what draws people in for esports. But who knows? I could be completely wrong.
I would actually like to see it better that way. Like, treat Gauntlet mode as more of like that everyone can play mode. Everyone can jump in, have fun with it, still be competitive, but have more fun. And then when people really want to get serious into the competitive side of things, then they jump over to the Ascendant Arena and the Leviathan. And at this point, I don't think we know much of what the difference between Ascendant and Leviathan is going to be. Maybe it just becomes Gauntlet and Arena. Who knows at this point? But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see it, and I'm guessing we're gonna get a glimpse of this soon because I don't know if this is 100%, but I think they're planning Gauntlet for open beta on July 25th, right?
Yeah,
Is that what?
that's
Yeah,
the goal.
yeah. And like I said, they're already play testing it internally, so they have about a little under 1 month to get it ready for open beta, and hopefully we get it a little early. It'd be nice
Yeah,
even if we got like a week of play testing on. Doesn't even have to be on the test net. Just let us play a little bit before it starts.
that'd be sick.